followed the Alberni Canal down towards Headquarters Bay and then turned west and went inland from there towards the third Camp B. And this is the trestle over the lower Franklin River. This is where the number 7 locomotive went through the bridge in '53. It'll continue on over to a siding and another water tank over there, and then there'll be a spur line that comes up on a peninsula into the train room across the trestle. And this is my riverbed that I've been working on. Got all the rock work into the top section now, and there'll be a set of waterfalls down behind the trestle into a pool down here. And it continues on upgrade through a rock cut into a switchback, and I'll continue on up to where I have my big spar tree set up. So this will be a high lead logging show in here. Show off the different methods of yarding and loading with a hay rack system. So that's where this will be. And then the loaded cars will come back down onto the siding. The train will be made up from there, and then the mainline locomotives will come in and switch out from the chaise and haul the log cars down to the dump at Camp A. And then continue on the main line. We'll go across the train room onto the other side. Onto another one of my scratch built trestles. This will kind of be this a lower section in the grade, so it's kind of going to be a centerpiece of drop scenery and things like that. It's one of my Pacific Coast chaise. Either number 17 or 19 whenever I get it painted, but that's built pretty much on standard Bloedel trestle building. They used just some round logs for pilings, and nothing was ever bolted together on these trestles. I've got tons of pictures of ones that are still surviving down at Franklin, and they were all nailed together with huge spikes, and then the stringers along the top were driven in, only held in place in the top of the bents with big steel rods. And the stringers, they never used one continuous stringer. They had one stringer that would span 2 bents, kind of in from a U shape. One would straddle the next one, and then the other one would tuck inside of it, sort of like a V shape all the way along. Once again, I've measured and photographed most of the trestles down in Franklin. When I go hunting, I think I spend more time taking pictures of old grade and junk I find along the right-of-way than I do looking for deer. But this is the water tank that was at siding 12. Back in the 80s, the BC Hydro put in the power line down to Nitnat Camp, and it exposed this water tank. So I went down and took pictures and measured it and took a bunch of stuff off of it. But when it was protected by the trees, it lasted a long time, but once it was left open to the weather, it didn't take long, and it just basically collapsed on itself. But that water tank was used up until probably the mid-70s, my dad figures, and they used it to water up the off-highway log logging trucks.